In his saying that planting a tree today means that he would prepare for his next day action.
Exactly. If the
Yes.
world did it's a power of hope.
It's a power of hope.
It's a power of hope. Why do we save? People think that saving, I don't like this whole narrative and notion that let me save and just have my money there. But that's why I talked about purpose. Purpose is very important. I imagine someone who's spending their money to doom right now. They don't know what they want in life. They don't know why they're here.
I think our next conversation is going to be on saving. Let's keep people waiting for that. I think we need to talk about saving because I don't want to go there.
Yes.
Because I know
yes.
there's something I want to talk about.
It's a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
We're going to do about that.
A
but
lot.
as you just mentioned about the Gujilatis, that delayed gratification, if at all anyone can really grasp and try to embrace that.
Yeah.
I think it's the key to everything. It's the key to even what we're talking about now.
It takes me back to the question of what is success to you? What is success to you? Arafat, if you don't get to ask yourself that question, every Tom, Dick, and Harry is going to lure you into doing things you're not ready to do. People do not know who they are and what they represent in this world. If I'm a doctor, which kind of doctor am I in my field? You need to be a captain of industry. That's why I'm like, if at all you're working for any corporation and you don't know what makes you different in that corporation, then I would rather you spend more time to think about that thing that makes you unique. Because that's the thing that will unlock wealth in your life. The thing that the world cannot buy, like it's very expensive.
I get it.
Because everyone has that thing, but not everyone has found it.
You're trying to say that have you found your spot in that institution where you are working
in the field you're in?
Do you know what can keep you there or what can make you out of there?
Exactly.
Have you noticed that?
That's the most important thing. Arafat, if you're a podcaster, what's the difference between you and the biggest podcasters we have in the world? Because that's exactly what people buy. People don't buy anything. I hear I'm a doctor. Everyone is a doctor. Never introduce yourself as I'm a doctor, I'm an accountant, I'm a lawyer. No. Speak about your value. Because when value is exchanged between hands, then money is reciprocated. You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
So if at all I have value, and that's what the Jews teach their kids. They teach you to become valuable, create. The world will be kind to someone who creates. If you can't create...
Kind of kneel down to.
Exactly. It will give up its strength for you. But if at all you have no creation, you cannot say that you're wealthy. You're surviving.
You're surviving.
I mean, you're talking about Elon Musk. You're talking about Mark Zuckerberg, the guys that are doing big things right now. It's because they have got into a zone where they are creating. Wisdom is the mother of all invention. So if you can't create, and everyone has been given that capacity to create. If you're a doctor, what in that field can you do that will make you stand out? That will be your legacy. If you're a teacher, trust me, even if you're selling pancakes,
there's one thing that can make you stand out.
There's one thing that can make you stand out that no one else can do. That's
through creation.
And everyone has that capacity to create. We have that faculty in our intellect to create. But it's because we are in the rat race of, I need to eat, I need to survive, I need to dress well, I need to be seen this way. That's all nonsense.
Very.
That will die with its own, with its own dying, with its own death. It's not... Most of the things that we are running after, they're transient, they're ephemeral. You get what I'm saying? These things, they are fleeting. I mean, you're going to buy a car. A car is a liability. I'm not saying it's bad to buy a car.
It is a liability. Still,
but trust me, look at an Indian living in the city right now. They are living at Makuuza. They have a small house there they are living in.
And they're driving their motors.
So he has a shop below Makuuza. And he knows that I'm just going to get down the lift and enter my shop. So he's looking at how do I create value that can consistently echo through generations. That is what he's looking at. He's not looking at, let me go and get a posh house in Nyarutarama. And then I buy a car Like they don't care about that.
And
They
this-
look at
and
how
these
do I
guys
make
have
sure.
money. These guys
They
have
have a
money
lot.
because they are waiting for the time of gratification. It's not yet there. They
They have a
know
lot.
because these mansions they build them in the future, but they have to wait until when it's time.
Exactly.
So you're saying they live in Makuza's house, but they don't live there forever. You know,
Exactly.
these guys, they're there for a purpose. Time comes and they leave that space for another relative who have just
Exactly.
left India.
Exactly.
And then now they shift to their mansion. They've built from the same place.
But you know the challenge we have, Arafat, especially in Africa, and I think this has to be very clear. In Africa, we are not used to success. I told you about the American dream. I told you about the African dream. African dream is study, get a job, get married, have children, buy a house, buy a car, die and go and meet your maker. Look at the American dream.
I like that.
The American dream is, look, it's a land of opportunities. It's a land where anyone can be a success. Anyone. So it is all inclusive. There are no inequalities. It's based on meritocracy.
For as long as you reach there,
If you're good and you have something to offer, you're going to break through in that market.
in seconds.
But here, if at all you have a degree, degrees are also becoming obsolete, by the way.
Of course.
If you're having a master's, masters are also becoming obsolete. So it's not about titles. The world is rewarding people that have something to
Have
offer.
value.
It's not what is on the can, it is what is in the can. That's why people...
It's not what is on the can.
It is not what is on the... It's not the title
what
on
is in the can.
It is what is in the can that people are going to buy. This glass of water, what makes it valuable is not the glass, but the water I'm drinking. You get what I'm saying? So that's the challenge we have. I call it a conundrum. We find ourselves in that kind of conundrum. It's all deceptive. And we need to get back to the drawing board. Africa is endowed with beauty. Africa is endowed with smart people. But every day, the brightest minds are leaving the continent. They are going out there to make a living, but they are going to become slaves. They are going to Middle East to become slaves. Because they have been sold to a narrative that is not true. That for you to be successful, you need to go and work outside. So we have not been
So they're
given
not
that.
ready to create.
We are surviving. And that's what we need to change. Right now, Africa has the most beautiful, like we are endowed with every resource. But because of our mindset, we are struggling. We are sitting on gold mines, but we are still sleeping hungry. We are still borrowing. No business that has gone beyond ages leveraged debt. No, look at IKEA. IKEA is one of the longest business. Like they have served through generations. They did not start with debt. They didn't build their business on leverage. They built their brands organically. Like I told you, the Gujarati. My motel has made money. Get that money and buy another motel. Don't get a loan from the bank. Get the profit and let's invest. So if I'm earning $1 million shillings, okay, I don't know what I'm going to invest in. Let me save this amount of money. Let me say I'm earning $1 million shillings. Let me take off 30% and just save it. You see, salary, trust me, to be honest with you, salary cannot make you rich.
It cannot.
You can run through the whole world, the four corners of the world. No man ever became rich on a salary. That is the truth. I mean, go ask anyone. No one ever became wealthy on a salary. That's why we have to create. When God was creating the world, and I must say this very, very frankly, he said he created man in his own image. And he said that, be fruitful, multiply, have dominion, and subdue the earth. That is the mandate that every human being on earth has. That if at all I'm a salary earner, how can I make my money multiplied? If at all you're getting debt, then that means you're breaking the principle. You're supposed to be fruitful. That your salary is seed that has to be planted. If you can cater for your bills only, that means you're not living. you're surviving. But if you have something off that salary that you can invest, then I would appreciate if you continue working for that company.
If you're investing somewhere else, apart from just that.
Like you're getting a salary and all you're getting is just paying your transport to work. It's like facilitating you to go and add value to another man's business. But if what you're getting cannot be multiplied, if you cannot be fruitful with what you're getting,
You deserve to quit the job.
there's a problem. You're surviving. So we have to say the hard truth as it is.
Sure.
Salary cannot make anyone wealthy. And I'll give you a disclaimer. None of us here on this table has made it in life. But we are all learning. And we have to have these conversations.
Very true. Very
That
true.
person you're trying to dress to please, they don't care.
They don't care.
Social media doesn't care. Show us your picture when you were standing next to, a Lamborghini, yet it's not yours.
And we know, we can tell that it's not
We
yours.
even don't care.
And no one even needs to know.
That doesn't bring food on my table. So I would tell you, young man out there who has just started, getting into the employment space, you're trying to make money, you need to think 50 years.
Tell them.
Think 50 years. When you get your salary, think about 50 years from where you're living right now. You're like, I've had the opportunity of adding value to this company, and this is what I have received in exchange. How do I make sure that in the next 10 years I'm out of employment?
Seriously, ask them, how many are there that start things expecting to get income from in 10 years? If you don't have something that you're now doing that you expect to earn from it, let's say 5 and above, you're actually not having anything. You're not doing anything. What you're doing is just to survive, as you just mentioned.
It's a problem.
Because these guys, Sam Altman, this guy with OpenAI, people see him, he looks to be a young man. He's like maybe 30-something. But maybe this guy has been doing this 20 years. Maybe he started when he was 10 or 15.
And we didn't know that.
And you didn't know that. So you've seen him after breaking out, after his breakthrough, and you think he's just made it within that day. It's a very big lie. People who have made it in life, I've really tried my best to trace their records. No one made it in less than 10 years.
Arafat, just to add to what you're saying, and this is a statistic, 1% of the world's population controls 32% of the world's wealth.
Just imagine that.
1%. 1%.
Just imagine.
Controls
30% of the total, of the entire wealth of the world.
32% of the world's wealth is controlled by 1% of the population. Then 50% of the population is surviving on 2% of the world's wealth. So, we are all in that bracket. We are surviving on 2% of the world's wealth. That is very painful.
Very painful, man.
So you want to ask yourself, I'm working for this organization, but where do I fall on this radar? Where am I on this spectrum? You get what I'm saying? Because, you're going to work until you're dead. And on your deathbed, you will remember, and you're like, but what is it that I'm leaving my children? The Jews have a philosophy that if a good man leaves an inheritance for his children and his children's children, 3 generations, that is true wealth. For them, that's what they define as true wealth. That if your children are going to start from negative or 0, then you are not a good steward. That means you wasted the time that God gave you on this planet to live so that you could leave an inheritance for your children and your children's children. If what you're making cannot be sustained to the next 3 generations or 2 generations, you need to sit down and reflect on what is it that is inside me that I can create to sustain the next generation. Because Arafat, we are experiencing one-time glories. Let me give you an example of athletes. Athletes and entertainers. They make lots of money in just one night of a concert. But when you study every athlete to the end of their life, you will realize that they lost it all. That's why I told you it's very easy to make wealth, but it takes wisdom to sustain that wealth. So what's that wisdom? Right now, on our tables, on our dinner tables, what are we telling our children? in our circles, communities, what are we talking about? Let's study those that have made it. What conversations do they have with their children on dinner tables that we are not having with our children? I mean, a Jew from 0 to 7 years, they're teaching their kids financial literacy. They're teaching them to save.
How many that
invest.
you know, even our banks, apart from one bank maybe, that is really seriously, massively investing into financial literacy to young people? I think it's one bank that I know now. And there are so many things, so many lessons that we're not being taught. How many times do you remember your parent giving you like, take this 10,000, go manage it, and then I need accountability of how you used it?
Some of us learned on the job.
Some of us learned on the job.
We learned on the job. I remember one story. My dad, I think when I just got it into campus, he tells me, you know what? I'm no longer giving you money. Go, you're a man now. Go out and find yourself. And good thing I had gotten government sponsorship into the college. So I needed to cater for my day-to-day, coursework, those things. So what I did, I said, I know how to sell, but I don't have what to sell. Then I had a friend who was staying in a neighborhood. I told him, you know what, you make African craft sandals. Please give me 10 pairs. Tell me how much you want from each pair. And I will make sure that you have your money in a few days. So when my supply was stifled, or when it was cut off, I woke up. Because I was used to being given. So I'm imagining, if I told my dad kept on giving me money, I would be very, very behind. I wouldn't have learned certain lessons in life. So I went, got those pairs, 10 pairs, and I went into campus doing door-to-door, calling, hello, I have nice sandals. These are very durable. You need them. You're not going to have to spend in the next 1 year. You're going to use this for the whole year. And then I would sell with my markup. After selling, I got my Kagame. I took back his money. I went back. He gave me more 20 pairs.
And the trust went up.
The trust went up. I started to sell. But I didn't know I could sell until I was...
Until your father cut you off.
Cut me off. So I imagine you are sucked out of that job today. I don't wish that for you, but just imagine it. Where are you going to start from?
Are you one of those guys that are going to keep pushing everywhere your
How are you going to
CVs
survive? How are you going to live life when you no longer have that manna that is coming every day for you to survive? When your boss says that, you know what, I think because of AI, we are going to have to downsize. That means you're going to leave. You're going to face the reality of life.
You're going to face the reality.
What do you have? What have you created that when your job is away, you will actually continue living and creating?
Do you
things?
have value that you can even offer outside of your employment?
That's it.
Is there something that you can do even outside of your employment? Part of the skills that you own? That's a very big question, brother.
That's the evil disease that has befallen most of us that are in corporate settings, that are in government settings. And when government gives you a job, you feel like, okay, I'm going to be here until I start getting my pension. And then you settle. You're like, I have job security.
No. By the way, that's, for me, I've come to realize that, I'm sorry to say, a big percentage of people who are employed, I think majority are thieves. Or they are engaged into corruption, embezzlement. Because, bro, I don't understand how you live on a budget of 3 million when you're earning 1 million. Give me that explanation.
There's no magic around that.
Come on.
There has to be something. But you see, it's all coming down to how do I keep up a certain status in society. That means you're going to try to create funny deals around your work.
Funny deals around your work.
And then you're going to try and
you are killing the other value in the same process.
Exactly. Because
once you're caught into that, it will come to light. Once you're caught, everything phases out.
That's not sustainable because you don't know your value.
You don't know your value.
That's why I'm like, if you're out there and you want to, I know everyone has that question. You get into your room, your house, and you're asking yourself, but where am I going to be in 20 years from now? What are my children going to, in the day I'm taken out of this world? What am I going to leave my children? Those questions come in your bathroom, when you're seated alone, when the noises have gone out.
But my brother, I want us to look at, bro, let's agree. the pressure out there is too much. How do we speak to a young man, to someone who is looking to suppress the pressure to display success? How do we advise this young person, this person who is trying to say, okay, I know I have this challenge, I have this disease, or maybe someone has not even noticed that, but perhaps is among those that are having this pressure to display success. You know, so many young people here have that pressure. They say, I have to be part of this group.
The pressure to belong.
The pressure to belong.
Yeah.
How would you escape that and find yourself in a zone that perhaps you've not traveled, but worthy traveling, that is going to change your life?
Arafat, I will overemphasize this, and trust me, there is no hack around it. There is no shortcut around life. If you don't know your why, Simon Sinek likes to say that, like, it's your why will determine your decisions, the friends that you have around. Because much of the time, you are the total sum of the 5 people that are around you. So, if you realize that what the people around you are making you spend more than you actually make, then you've got to reconsider those relationships. Because I think many young people are being deceived by their peers. Because, I mean, we all don't come from the same families.
Not.
Our ground is not leveled. What levels our ground is when meritocracy comes in. Where if you're good, you're good. And the world will reward you for your...
Notice and reward you that.
So I would tell a young man, try to notice the things that you're good at effortlessly. The things that you know that this one, even when I'm waking up at 3 a.m., I can actually do it so well. Then create around that. Look for people that are in that line of work. That's why mentorship is very important. I mean, we are all a total sum of the people that we've learned from, the people on whose shoulders we stand. We are able to see ahead because I'm stepping on Arafat's shoulder. But I know there's that problem. We like to hoard information.
We are a total sum of so many people we've learned from.
The people that we've learned from. Knowledge is the precursor of new experiences. If you want to experience something new, get knowledge. But get knowledge in the place that identifies with your purpose. Don't do whatever everyone is doing. I mean, in Africa, we have that whole thing that, hey, this man has started a podcast, let me go and start a podcast. But is it what exactly defines you? Can you do podcasting for 5 years without being paid? And you will do it consistently. If you can't, then you're trying to lie to us. But if what I'm doing, I can do it whether I'm paid or not, then that is my thing. That is the thing.
That's it.
That is the thing. So build around that thing. The world will see value in that thing and they will pay for it. But if you haven't yet found that thing, you're going to become a cheap copy of a great original.
Consistency.
You will become like everyone else and be nothing in this world. That's why people are surviving. Get a job, start earning some money, get a loan, buy a house, a car, get married, have children, and then you're going to be in that rat race up until you're 50, and then you're dealing with a chronic condition, and then you're going to have to sell your house again to treat that disease. There are people that
and then you're leaving your family in tears.
Exactly. There are people that are one disease away from
poverty tears and death tears, you know.
You get that. I heard of a story of a young man who was working in the bank every day. He was very, very effective at work. That sometimes he would miss lunch. He would miss lunch and just work. He got a loan, and you know when you're a banker, there's a way they bring down the interest, and then you can get a loan and do it. He got a salary loan, bought a house, bought a car, got his kids to nice schools. Then one day he was hit with a very dangerous ulcer that required him to be taken to India, to be flown to India to get treatment. And trust me, he sold everything he had to be able to pay for that treatment. The sad story is that he died. He died in India when he had sold everything he had worked for 20 years. That is what I call the evil disease. It's evil in its own way. Why do I have to work until I have to lose everything that I've worked for?
I think my simple advice, Seriously, that has stuck me so much. And
He
that,
left the family
that
homeless.
keeps me telling people that, we can't anticipate, as we mentioned earlier, that what is going to happen tomorrow. We can't know what happens in the next second. I always tell people there's no tomorrow, there's no today, there's no future. For me, I don't believe in that because now, like, as I speak, there's a second that is pushing ahead. So that is what I can call the future or tomorrow, but I'm not even catching it. So someone who put tomorrow like after the night,
The future is now. Like live
the future
now,
is now.
but live like a steward.
So, Jesus Christ, how do we convince someone that whether you are employed, earning however much, I don't know how much you're earning, you need to have something that can create you more incomes outside of the employment, because the days are not trusted. You cannot trust the days.
I think you've seen ants. There's the wisdom of the ants. They prepare food for for the time when they will have famine. So they go and keep the food. And then when there's famine, they feed on that food. It's a wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
It's a wisdom.
It's a wisdom to plan for something you're not seeing. Uncertainty. No one knows when they are going to leave this planet.
No. Look, I have friends of mine who tells me, you know what? I always tell them, bro, look, you're fully employed somewhere. I know you are in the government job. You can't go out, A, B, C, D. But look, you can have something outside of that. You are not meant to die from there. You see? That's not where your strength can only be put. Find someone, and people say, how can I manage another business yet I'm employed here? And then you look at this person and say, seriously, do you think you cannot manage more than 3 things yet doing another job for someone? Because, bro, there are these people who say, since I'm fully employed, I don't think I can run my own business outside. What would you tell this person?
It's a mentality. It's a mentality.
Because I don't see what stops you from owning another business that you can still manage outside of their employment.
It's a mentality. The question is, what business? That's a very important question. What business, and why am I doing the business that I'm doing? So there are businesses that are high turnover, that you know that, okay, this I can run even when I'm working at a particular job, the 8 to 5. Miles Monroe, the late, may his soul rest in peace, he said, I used to listen. I would binge watch almost all his content, at a particular stage in life when I was trying to find myself. He made a statement, was like, you know what, if you are working at a job, 8 to 5, know that is more like a responsibility to your boss. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm there to build the vision of my boss. But as I'm there, one of the things that I should leverage is the networks that I'm building. Because your salary is not what you earn from a job. Your salary is the networks you build from that job. Is the experiences you get dealing with people in that job. It's the things you learn every day. There is a training in that job that make you different. I like to tell people, it is not what you studied that makes you different, but what you become by studying what you studied. What I become by working for a corporation for 20 years is the most important thing. How do I become a consultant? That means I've been in a field for a long time, that right now I can pass on knowledge. I can advise a new company coming up. So I like to tell people that 8 to 5, like Miles Monroe said, is for your boss. 5 to 10 is your business. Is your business. That is what is going to create wealth for you. Whatever you're getting here is knowledge, is experience, but where are you applying it? If you're not applying it anywhere, then it is going to decimate.
As we conclude our conversation of today,
Yes,
brother, how do we prevent early gratification so that we can live what we can afford? so that even everyone out there who is perhaps watching and listening to us will say, no, I'm not going back to spending where I'm not supposed to spend. I'm not going back to hike myself into expenses that are not worth it. What should we tell this person now as we end our conversation that, please, it's not late. You can still revert to the process and do the best for yourself, not for anyone else, for yourself and for your people that belongs to your family, the people that looks at you as their own shield. What should this person do?
It's a very powerful question. Very powerful, Arafat. Life, like it is, we make decisions every day. Even right now, the decision to say what you're saying, it comes with a thought process to it. But you cannot change a habit without a system around it. Systems involve different things. They involve processes. They involve the people that we work with, the people we transact with. So for me, I will tell the person who wants to have a bit of a reinvention, who wants to restart, try to audit your relationships. Like I said earlier, you were total sum of the people that you hang out with. You are the environment you're in. So audit your relationships, audit the people that you learn from. Audit, just know, okay, is this the kind of person that I want to keep as company in my journey of life? What are their goals? What are their values? Are they in line with where I'm going? Once you're able to ascertain that, it's going to define your true north. And be like, this is my true north. This is my value system. This is how I make decisions. So whether my friends are going south and I'm the only one going north,
I should keep going.
I should keep going. Because life is just like that. I mean, everyone is running their race. There are people spectating. But make sure that in your race, you are focused on where you're going. You know your objective. And that's the why I was talking about. We're not going to run away from the why. Know your why. And then build a system around your why. Get mentorship. Because I said knowledge is the precursor of new experiences. If you want to experience true wealth, learn from people that have genuinely made wealth. Because there are people who are wealthy, but they are not actually wealthy. The picture we see is a facade. It's not real. So I would advise any young man out there or young woman who's trying to make it in life, audit, have a situation analysis of your life, the people around you, the content you consume, how much time you spend doom scrolling, how much time you spend watching what other people are doing, how much time you spend with yourself. Because we are in a world where everything is fast-paced. Everyone is running after something. So if they tell you, you know what, there's an event here, you're going to go. Why are you going there?
You have a reason.
You get what I'm saying? So for me, that's what I would advise any young employee or entrepreneur or anyone trying to really build wealth. Like, understand your environment because it informs the decision you're making. And then try to make the hardest decisions of detaching from those relationships because you have one life to live in this world. One. I don't want to tell you there's another one. Everyone, even as we are speaking here, but we have one. So if you're doing whatever you're doing, think about that. You're like, I have one life to make things right. I don't know whether I have 20, 30 years, 50 years ahead. But I want to make sure that the decisions I'm making right now will have a positive ripple effect on the people that will come out of my loins, if at all I'm going to have children and have a family. If you do not have that clear, then life is going to become like a man chasing after a wind. You'll never get the wind because you don't know where it's coming from or where it's going. You will leave it to chance.
The only way to break the chains of being broke is by trying to take the hard route and detach yourself from what is causing those expenses.
Exactly. Because some things are unnecessary. They're just unnecessary. Have priorities in life. And priorities are informed by your values. If you know that for me,
the power to impress should be suppressed.
Detach from that culture, but create something that is better than it. Because to change from one habit to another, you need to create one that is higher than the one you're in. Because every habit is informed by motivation. If what motivates you is being around people and they're speaking all these nice things about you, it might be tricky if you don't have something to substitute that with. So I would appreciate if you find that person who is doing great and their life is aligned and be like, I want to learn from you. I want to be your friend. Because I'm not satisfied with how I'm living life. It's not going to happen in a fortnight. It's not going to happen in a day. It takes time.
It is a process.
Do the small things that will make you better every day. Learn something new in your field. If you want to be different, learn something new in your field. Don't study things that are not in your field. Bill Gates likes to say that just be good at one thing and be the best at it. If I told you, you know that for me, I'm a carpenter, be the best carpenter there is. If you know that for me, I am an accountant, when it comes to numbers, no one beats me. Make sure everything that comes from, the Corporate Finance Institute, you are there. You understand what's happening in the world, because the world will reward you based on what you're able to create out of your field. So the habits are going to change if you create systems around them. And then that is going to create a consistent way of doing life. Your daily habits, daily practices. Learn from people who have a certain character and personality that you would want to emulate.
And then go in.
Go in. Be humble, because I know many people are struggling right now because of pride.
Yeah.
We're not teachable.
Yeah.
Because, there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing you're going to do that has never been done.
It takes nothing from you by approaching someone that you admire to say, come on, tell me how things are done.
Yeah, how things are done.
I need to be this person.
Exactly.
And this person is really going to help you.
People are willing to help, but we don't have many teachable young people. Many young people have been puffed up by the information they consume every day. You read just one article on LinkedIn and you feel like you know everything. You read just one article in Investopedia and you feel like you know everything. My brother, there are people who are proven patterns that you can look at and be like, you know what, this person has gone through the test of time.
If I follow his tracks.
If I just go and, even if you just sit with them, you're like, you know what, I want to take you out. I just want to have a conversation with you. And when you go there, pay for the lunch. Because wisdom is expensive. When you say you want to sit with the president or you want to sit with the tycoons of Kigali, once you meet them, do something. Invest in what you're getting.
Because the knowledge they are impacting in you is really very expensive.
It's priceless. It's worth a lot. So it's a wisdom, actually. If you're around kings, know how to deal with kings. If you're around, tycoons, know how to deal with tycoons. Don't go as a beggar. Because you need to get that thing that cannot be taken away from you, and that's wisdom. I mean, I can give you money. If you go to the president, you're like, you know what? What's the one thing that you will tell the president when you meet him? You know what? My family is struggling. I need money. How much money? I need maybe 20 million Rwandan francs. Trust me, you will get that money and you will still go back to ground zero. I'm not saying don't ask for the money, but I'm saying
my God,
ask for something that cannot be taken away from you, and that's wisdom.
Do you know even what you want? That's a question.
Exactly.
Some people don't know what they want.
Exactly.
So, guys,
we can have a conversation.
We can
until
have
the
this
cows
conversation
come back
until the cameras shut down. But please, let's end it here. We're not going to add anything else. You just watch it, because the knowledge here we've shared. This man, Stephen, has shared a lot. Please take your time and watch, listen, and learn. Please, untouch yourself from the nonsense. That's maybe my last word.